Yeah. All right, so great. Let's talk about today's itinerary. Time to launch. So over the past 2 or 3 webinars, we've talked about the great ways in which you can get content in your account. And that includes building from scratch. That includes importing it. That includes just having us do it for you. But what do you do once your account is, primed, ready to go, and you want to get it out the door? Today, we're going to be talking about managing your teams, assigning content, inviting users, and basically just getting everyone on board for the show. So let's cover off a checklist of the 3 things that we're going to need to do in order to prime our account, make sure it's ready to go, and get our employees learning. That's the biggest thing that we want to cover today. And again, I know I just iterated this. If you're newer to the platform, you're in the right place. So we recently covered how you can create an account. We've got 2 great new sign-up flows at admin.edapp.com and right on our, our homepage, where you can take a look at different pieces of content from our content library and view them before you even put in an email address. Make sure it's going to be right for you, and then you can sign up. We're going to have someone in the chat drop a link to that, so that if you wanted to sign up for an EdApp account, if you haven't done that yet, it's quick, easy, it's free, no credit card required. And then over the most recent webinar, we talked about how to get your content up and running. I just breezed past this, but I do want to spend just a minute or 2 talking about the 3 main ways in which content's added to your account. So first and foremost, the thing that I am the most excited about, that's Trading Your Training. If you're not familiar with Trading Your Training, it definitely sounds too good to be true. What Trading Your Training does is it allows you to submit documents, SOPs, PowerPoints that you might have been using to train before, which is obviously kind of stagnant. It's sort of that get everyone together in a room and put up a slideshow approach. That's something we're trying to break down, make more engaging, more dynamic, and trackable. So if you've got those documents, send them to our team. And what our team will do is they'll take that first 1 or 2 or 3 lessons and turn them into engaging, gamified EdApp micro lessons and drop them into a brand new EdApp account for you, give you the reins, and then you can run with it. Again, to reiterate, send us what you've got. We'll make lessons for you, and it's free. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited about that. That is the best possible way that you could pilot our program, right? 0 cost involved, and you're out the door. You want to jump back to the last slide there, Jess?
Apologies.
No worries. I know, I'm excited too. Don't worry about it. Secondly, collecting content from the content library. We have, at this point, it's got to be 900 plus strong courses in our content library on pretty much any vertical imaginable. Whatever you're training for, you'll find a piece of material there that you can deliver probably as is, with the option of just fine tuning it, right? You can grab material from this content library, drop it into your account, edit it, apply your brand, make it more relevant to the audience that you're training for, and you're off to the races. So the content library, great place to start if you're looking for some off-the-shelf material. Again, everything in the content library is free. I don't know how we make money. So, and then lastly, actually, those are the 2 main ways. Other than that, you can build material from scratch using our inbuilt authoring tool. Everything from the content library and everything that's built through Trading Your Training is done with our content authoring tool. It's a template-based authoring tool that's incredibly powerful, but it's also lightweight, and it allows you to build material very rapidly. So we've covered those off in previous webinars. I'll have someone drop in the chat a link to our YouTube channel where you can view the 2 previous webinars where we talked about Trading Your Training, we talked about the content library, and we've talked about building stuff out with the authoring tool. We're going to breeze right past all of that today. And again, we're going to get laser focused on the next step here, Jess. And that is what to do once you're staged, ready, and it's time to launch. So simple 3-step process. I'm going to have Jessica give us a really awesome live demo of how to do this. But it's invite, manage, and track. How do we go about onboarding our users to our program, managing them and making sure that they're assigned the appropriate content that's relevant to their job title or their team? And then lastly, once everyone's got this content out the door, how do we track that? How do we make sure that they're completing stuff accurately, on time? What's missing the mark that we could edit? and how we get a closer look at our program. So without further ado, let me hand it over to you, Jess, and yeah, let's get your screen up and we'll take a look.
Yeah, I'll take the reins. I thought you were going to call me Jessica for a second then, which threw me off before.
I apologize. Oh, and by the way, just while you're getting this staged, if anyone in the comments section has a question or wants us to elaborate on something you've seen here, I love to interrupt Jess. So drop it in the chat. Sorry, Jess. So drop it in the chat, and we'll put her. We'll keep her on her toes.
You can test me.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Great. Well, yeah. You're probably aware of the page I'm on right now. If you've already gone through those first stages of getting yourself signed up, you've started creating or editing content, so you'll be used to where I am right now. But I thought, just to make it easy, we're going to start somewhere familiar, which is our courseware page. But like we've said, today is all about inviting users, and then once we've got them within the platform, how we're going to then track them further down the line. We'll also touch a little bit on how we can use the analytics to engage them as well, or re-engage. So I think the best place to start right now is actually inviting users. So how are we going to start to get our team into EdApp to start taking our content? And that's going to be along the toolbar in the tab that says users, quite self-explanatory. And we're going to go down to this tab here, which is invite users. Now, we've got two main methods of inviting users. Right now, we've got the option here to invite users via email. And we can also invite users via invite code, which I'll go through in a second. But when inviting users by email, we've got two options. We can either invite users individually, if we would just say inviting a few colleagues to also test out EdApp, or if you've got a couple of new starters and you're just wanting to add them into the account, you can easily put their domain and their email address in here. We can tick, they're already pre-ticked as a learner. If it was a colleague or someone you wanted to tick as an admin, so they had access as well to the admin portal, we could tick admin there, and then easy, we can just create a subject line, send out that email, and we've easily just invited a few individual learners to our EdApp account. Now, if it was that we were wanting to invite a larger number of users, we've got this option as well here to upload via bulk. Super simple. We're just going to download this template, fill in the fields, re-upload it back into EdApp, and again we can set a subject line, send it out. We've just sent an email out to all of our users, and we've done it in theory no time at all right now, but it shan't take you too long. Very simple, and we're going to get those users quickly into your account and they can start taking that content. So that's with email. Like I'd said, we've also got this option here to invite via invite code. Now, all we have to do, I'm just going to enable this option here for a universal invite code, and you can make this invite code whatever you like. You can make it relevant to your company. You can see right now we're hosting a webinar. It's webinar 2021. We could also display our logo so that when your learners sign up with that invite code, they're going to be welcomed with your company logo. They instantly know visually they're in the right place. And if it was that you're wanting to actually verify the users using this invite code, you could tick that just there. So again, easy to be able to set up that invite code. And we've also got the option, if I scroll down, for us to choose the registration fields that are required when our learner's signing up. So they're going to need an email, they're going to need a password, but we've also got the option for their first name, last name. If you had multiple sites or stores, we could also enable tick that so that we understand who it is and what department or store they're in. And yeah, that's how we could easily set up an invite code. I feel like it seems too easy and too good to be true, but that's it. We don't want to overcomplicate anything. We want to keep it nice and simple. And so there are two main methods of being able to invite our users. Now, I'm actually going to take us to our list of users right now, because I just want to touch on how we can make little edits to our existing users, say, reset their password or change their password if someone's forgotten it, or if you're actually wanting to change their user roles. You might have a colleague who's going to be creating some content. So I've gone to our list of users. I'm just going to pick Bobby, for example, here, and I'm going to click on his name. We've opened up his user profile. Now, if you, for example, had Ben who's forgotten his password, you can easily go into their account, change their password, press save, easy peasy, you've done it yourself. You can always ask us on live chat as well, or if you've got any of your team that need a little bit of help, send them to live chat. You're not going to get a robot, you're most likely going to get me or Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be us too that'll be helping you with that password.
If you're in the UK or EMEA, it's going to be me. If you're in the US, it's going to be Chris. But yeah, we're real people who are here to help, whether that be updating passwords, removing users. Even if you're a little bit stuck with actually inviting users, let us know. We'll happily hop on a call with you, take you through the process. We want to make sure it's transparent that if you ever need assistance, let us know. We're here to help. We're happy to help. Me and Chris are nice people. We're not too scary. I mean, I don't know Chris. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we're all broken. But no, that's it. You get the point. We're here to help. And if you did want to reach out to live chat, it's just this little speech bubble in the bottom right-hand corner here. So that's just how we can edit the users. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit as well. You're going to start to see some different options. User groups we'll go over in a moment. But if you were wanting to move users around, add them into user groups, you can do that here. If you say had a colleague who was a manager of a group and you were utilizing user groups, you could assign them as a manager here as well. But then we've also got this roles section, which I'd mentioned before. So I'd said, for example, if we wanted someone to have access to being able to create content, we could have a content author. And we've got a range of different roles depending on what the person's purpose is within your account. So they're not going to have access to the whole LMS. It might just be that they have access to specific areas. So that's how we can make little adjustments to our users there. Now, user groups. I was just mentioning them. Let's hop on down. So one thing I do want to mention with user groups is this is one of our pro features. But if you're a business that's got a range of multiple departments or teams or different sites, you're going to find this a really quite helpful feature to be able to utilize, because not only can you segment your users, you can, like I said, set managers for them. So there's going to be someone overseeing that group. And you can also set specific content for them as well. So it might be that content relevant to your office workers might not be relevant to your floor, like your retail floor team or something like that. It's an easy way of being able to choose what content is going to be going where. And to set up a user group again, it's quite simple. We're just going to be pressing this blue button here. This is going to take us through so where we can start to create our user group. So we can name it. We can also actually choose to have a unique invite code for this user group. So when your users are signing up, they put in this unique invite code. It's going to drop them straight into their user group within their EdApp account. You're not having to do any moving around. So really nice way of being able to easily invite users and have them be exactly where you need them to be. And if you'd already invited your users, not a problem. We can scroll down, we can select who's going to be going into this user group and who's going to be part of this team within EdApp. And then again, that's setting up that managers. Now, this has gone through just how to start creating users, how we're going to organize them. Now, for example, we might have this new user group we've created. We're actually wanting to send an outreach to them about, hey guys, you've got some new content that's ready for you, you've got a new lesson. We can start to utilize our push notifications and engage our team by instantaneously being able to reach out to them and let them know that there's some new content for them to take. It might be a new quiz, or it might just be an update about their department or their team. It's a really handy way of being able to just get in touch with everyone all at once. And that can be done just here on the right-hand side under our push notifications. Now, one thing I do want to reiterate with this is a pro feature, but it's super useful. And if you think this is necessary for your team, if you've got more questions about our different plans, let us know. Like I said, we're happy to talk through them with you. So I think that really covers off how we're inviting users, how we're organizing them. And the next thing would be actually tracking our users. How are we going to see how they're performing? And this is where we're going to go along to our analytics tab. And one of my favorite reports, I'm going to throw in here because I think we discussed it on the last webinar. Actionable reports is one of our top tier reports that we like, and so many different organizations like, because they're so handy. And these are reports in which we can start to look at different subsections of users based on whether they've got partial completions, whether they've logged in and not started a course. And this is a great way of being able to give people the little nudge they need to pick up with their learning and continue going through their content within EdApp. And what I like best about these, if I was to go into our users who've never logged in, but who have logged in, sorry, but haven't started a course, we've got a few here. we can actually look at these actions. Again, send a push notification, which can be really handy, send an email, and also exporting this list. And if I was to just go for email for an example, we can actually edit the subject and the body and also send a test email. So this is a great way of being able to give those people who might need to be re-engaged that little nudge to get them back into the platform. So that's the actionable reports. And then I'm also just going to cover off performance dashboard. I have a feeling that this is where a lot of you are going to be spending your time, just because it's got so much information and really allows you to have a great overview of how your courses are performing, how your user groups are performing, or your users, or even just a general overview. And you're free to have a look at this within EdApp, but if you were wanting to export it, you can easily do that here. And with this, if I'm just on the overview tab at the moment, we can start to have a look at my course completions, my average completion rate, actually how long people are taking to complete the course. It could be that you're finding this is a little bit higher, and it could be that the wording of a course could be a little bit off, and it's just making it a little bit more difficult for people. So this could be an indicator to you to have a review of that content. So you can use these analytics in a range of different ways. But if I scroll down, we can start to get an idea of how we can look at highest performing courses, lowest performing courses, also with our user groups and our users here. And don't judge us for the low completion scores. This is just our webinar account. I'm sure you're going to outshine us with all your completion scores and the fields of green that we're going to see. But yeah, these are a really fantastic resource for you now being able to have a look at how your users are performing. But yeah, Chris, is there any other areas that you're wanting to throw in? What are you thinking?
We actually have a couple questions I could get across.
Oh, go on, brilliant. Let's do it.
So Richard D asks, how long is data stored in the analytics suite? And is there a limit to the amount of data that we're able to have hosted here?
I feel like you're going to know the answers to this one, Chris. And I feel like you're going to say it to me and I'm going to think that I'm an idiot because I will have known it, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's a great question, Richard. There is no limit to the amount of time that data is stored in your account. All EdApp plans start for free, and that includes the full analytics suite. So you can keep as much data as you need in the analytics suite for as long as you need, and we'll never erase it, unless of course you request. So yeah, really good question.
That was a good one. I thought that was the case, but I didn't want to have any inkling of not being 100% too sure. I knew you'd know, you know.
Exactly. All right, well, just tell you what, that was the perfect little 1, 2, 3 tour of how we invite, manage, and then track. So thank you for that. That's amazing. What I want to do now, and it seems like Richard got the jump on us, I'd love to open it up to questions. So for those of you in the audience, is there anything that we saw today that you'd like us to elaborate on? Do you have any questions about how this works? Or is there something else you want us to cover? We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I want to mention as well, I want to reiterate my point before. Like I said, if you've got any questions or you're a little bit stuck, or you just need that little kind of helping hand from us, let us know in the live chat, because we're so keen to be able to assist you guys in being able to invite users. It might be questions about actually like authoring, it can be anything. We're here to help. And we really like, no question is, when people say a dumb question, nothing's a dumb question.
Yeah, exactly.
Like no one walks into something knowing 100%. We're all learning. And we just want to share the knowledge. And half the time when people ask questions, I'm learning. I just learned from Chris then. It's all about building up that knowledge.
And I want to just give us a pat on the back here in the live chat. Toot our own horn here. We can provide a lot of service. So if you're prompting the live chat, we'll have the ability to jump into your account and help route things around for you, or even stage a live call right then and there on Zoom or Google Meets or whatever your preferred meeting platform is. So we can peer into your account with you and show you how it's done. So definitely a lot of robust service that you have access to there. I highly recommend that you chat us up. And I'm not seeing any questions come in. Looks like we've just gotten one from Simon B. Let me read this question. This is a question about a global address list. Not sure about that one. I think I need a little bit more context on that question there, Simon, but if you'd like, we can get in touch after the webinar and we can help answer that for you. Question from Marcelo S. Analytics Suite. Got you. So Marcelo is asking a great way to get analytics for quizzes.
Oh,
So I think that we've got a good answer for, you, Marcelo. There's two separate things that you can do. Jess, if you wouldn't mind giving us a whistle-stop tour of the course completion or the course progress, or if you want to just focus in on a specific course in the performance dashboard, I think that's a great way to cover that off. And then the alternative would be a rapid refresh quiz, something that we've elaborated upon greatly in the past.
I'll take us through course completion, course progress, sorry. I'm just thinking, this isn't a course that's been taken.
Yeah, you may be better off, Jess, just to answer this question. This is out of left field, but you might want to jump into the Project Ed sandbox account. And that way we can get some actual data. Okay, so in the meantime, can bulk email users be reminded about completion without doing it individually? Yes, Richard, that's absolutely something that you can do. If you choose to enable it, you can automate notifications so that all of your users will be pinged if there's new content that's in the account that's live, that's assigned to them that they haven't answered or they haven't opened yet, I should say. So you don't need to take any action if you choose to enable automatic notifications. We'll do that part for you. Gonzalo asks, is it possible to connect to an LMS through API to synchronize users, send data, completion rates, and other stuff? Yes, Gonzalo, it absolutely is. EdApp is open API and XAPI compliant. We've got all kinds of really great API hooks like push and pull users, push and pull course completion data, push and pull lesson completion data, survey results, user groups. You can sync with other LMSs, yes, but you can also sync with other HR platforms if what you're trying to do is import users and user groups into your program. A lot we can do there with API. All right,
sorry,
perfect.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
We've got our sandbox account. I believe that question was pertaining to accuracy of quiz style lessons.
Yeah, okay, so we can have a look in the performance dashboard. Here are a kind of overview of our different courses and the completions. One thing I want to highlight as well, which I know we've mentioned on some of our other webinars, is if you're thinking about offering a quiz or quizzes to your users, definitely utilize our rapid refresh feature. That's such a great way of being able to easily create and deploy quizzes to your learners. What's even nice as well about this is they're going to get the push notification telling them this rapid refresh quiz is available for them to take. You can brand it, enable leaderboards, and within the analytics as well, see a breakdown of your questions, the users, and their answers as well. So it's a nice way of being able to pinpoint areas of strengths and weaknesses to either influence future content or actually to influence perhaps looking at this in a little bit more depth and offering a little bit more support as well, or even just refresher topics. So I wanted to highlight rapid refresh just because it's such a fantastic feature for quizzing, 100%. But if it was that you were offering quizzing within your learning content, looking at our different interactions, whether it be multiple choice, relationship questions, we can actually have a look at our performance dashboard at the courses that we've got and also the completion scores as well. So how the average time people have been within the lesson, the average score, and also the percentage of your learners who've completed it. So yeah, how are we looking for other questions, Chris? Or have you got anything to add on to that one?
Yeah, I think I would like to add, if it's possible for us to bring up a completed rapid refresh. Is there any in this sandbox account, or would they be back in the webinar account? It'd be nice to see the analytics associated with the rapid refresh. Okay, look, it looks like we'll have something that should have some data in here.
Yeah, let's have a look within the analytics.
Marcelo asks, can we see what each user answered, whether each user answered any specific question correctly or incorrectly?
So within the, let's have a look. So we've got.
There we go. That one looks like we've got some completions here that you might be able to see. Oh, perfect. So here's a good example.
Here we go. So we can see, I forgot that all of the users are named after authors. But yeah, we can start to see the individual responses to our questions. So when you're filling out the template for your rapid refresh, you're going to be filling in what the questions are for question 1, question 2, question 3. And then within the analytics, we can start to see, I think we've only got the one completion at the moment, so I won't scroll down, but how they've responded to this rapid refresh, and also how long it's taken them. You want to make sure that your rapid refreshes are going to take maybe a minute or so, something quite quick, speedy. But again, you can have this going every day if you want them all going out at once, or even weekly for 5 weeks with like 4 questions, really up to you. But yeah, it's a nice way of being able to see that breakdown of how people have responded to your quiz questions.
Lovely. And I think we might be squared away for questions unless anyone in the audience wants to get another quick one across. Marcelo says, thank you, you guys. You rock. Thank you, Marcelo. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. We do love doing the demo as well. About the energy, it's great.
Perfect.
And also, we just love you to share.
Listen, if anyone has any follow-up questions, it's really easy to get in touch with us. You can reach us at hello@edapp.com, dropping that in the chat, or you can reach us right away on that live chat. Just gonna push that one more time. And and it's been great hosting this webinar with you, Jess. Thank you so much for your help.
No problem. It's been great hosting it with you as well, Chris. And one thing, I want to mention just finally is if it is that you're wanting to have a chat about your plans for using EdApp, or you, like I said, you need that assistance, or you just want to discuss some like a roadmap for you that's gonna how we can offer assistance, all that, feel free to reach out. Like I said, we're happy to talk to you. We love finding out how people are using the platform and how we can use our resources to assist you. So don't be shy, reach out. Like I said, we're lovely. We're all lovely. Except from Chris. No, okay.
Cheeky. All right. Well, thank you again for joining me today, Jess, and have a great afternoon or a great morning, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Cheers.